Hey, there we are. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can go to this. Hello, everyone. This is an impromptu live screen. Someone's been waiting here for 2 hours. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad. Oh, let me type in. All right, there we go. All right, well, welcome everyone. The few people who will probably catch this. If you missed this, don't be upset. This is the impromptu one from the one I did Monday. I didn't answer any of your questions. I apologize for that. The missus told me she was going to stay for like 5 or 10 minutes, then leave. She had the best time ever, and you guys are so totally awesome by making her feel at home and making her feel welcome. Really, really appreciate that. But she had a super good time. But I did feel bad because I didn't answer any of the questions. I think it just created an echo. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Anyway, I will be answering all of your questions. I see a few people are up here tonight. That's really nice. Anyway, let me go ahead and get to some of those questions here. And I may answer some on YouTube, but probably not that many because I have a lot of questions to answer. All right. All right. Hey, funny thing, I used to work for DirecTV a long time ago. That's nice. You have DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. All right. Anyway, Dark Novia, you're here. I'm going to answer the rest of your questions, brother. The first one. When was the golden age of Star Wars and when did it end? I love this question. If you're talking about, we're just talking about Star Wars in general, right? Star Wars in general. All right, here's a few answers. 77 to 87 would be my, I would say 77 to 87. That was the original trilogy. It kind of, flamed out by 87. Marvel let go the comic books. No one was doing any more books or TV movies or cartoons. And so it kind of died off for the first time. That may have been the golden age to some people. Others, I mean, for the expanded universe, it may have been from Timothy Zahn to when Disney bought the company. Or you could say it was under Lucas's reign was the golden age, to be honest. So from 77 to 2013. So that's left up to interpretation. So let me go with 77 to 2013. Now, that is not saying, folks, that, Disney's the dark ages, It's just saying that for a golden age, I think you would refer to that as it was under its original owner. Think about when Walt Disney ran Disney World and ran Disney as a corporation. I would say that, Disney would consider that their golden age, not necessarily their best age, but their golden age when Walt was around. So George was in charge and, he ran Star Wars. That is the golden age. Now, the other one I'm going to combine with another one. Dark Novia asks, what was Anakin's fate sealed or would have been different if Qui-Gon had taught him? Dark Novia, these are great questions, by the way. And it's always fun to play, woulda, shoulda, coulda, infinities, I guess, Would things have been better? Because we know that Obi-Wan thinks Qui-Gon would have done a better job. That's been told us in the EU. I am not as convinced. I think Anakin was the chosen one, and his fate was predetermined. He was, destiny. He was destined to fall to the dark side and balance the force by wiping out a lot of the good. If you think about it, it was imbalanced, but that's because there's too many good Jedi and no bad Jedi. Isn't that a weird way to think of bringing balance to the force? But that's how I interpreted it. And so Anakin, his destiny, he could not avoid it. He had to turn bad. So regardless of who would have taught him, I think he was just destined to fall to the dark side. Now, it would have been interesting to see. In fact, they did some Infinity's comic books back for years ago, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And even though I never read them, when did I read them? I may have read them. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't own them. I may have read them from Bruce, so I probably did read them. Anyway, interesting, but I wasn't interested in, what if storylines. However, let's imagine there is a what if storyline for episodes 1, 2, and 3. That would be an interesting one. What if Qui-Gon had not died at the hands of Darth Maul? What if he had lived? How would things have been different? That'd have been interesting. And for episode 2, my next question, someone said, what do you think would have happened if Yoda didn't save Anakin and Obi-Wan in episode 2 and rather killed Dooku before he escaped? All right. So first off, would they have, what if Yoda didn't show up? Would Dooku have killed Obi-Wan and Anakin? Obi-Wan, yes. Anakin, no. I think he and Sidious already had it in place to turn Anakin to the dark side. But they knew Obi-Wan would never turn, and he had to die. Remember, in episode 3, we're kind of told that. But, so I think Obi-Wan, he definitely would have killed. Anakin, he wouldn't have. He would have left him, bruised, broken, dismembered, and just full of rage that he had killed his master, and then turn him to the dark side, which I think was the original plan. Again, that's an infinities there, right? What if Yoda had not have shown up? What would have happened there? What if Obi-Wan would have died in the Dooku fight? And then if I got to go ahead and do an infinities for episode 3. Infinities for episode 3. What if Yoda defeated Darth Sidious? Okay, here's what would have happened. We would have had a happy ending. Think about it. That is the key focal point, is beating Sidious. If Yoda beats him in that battle, he's not around. No one's around to save Anakin. Anakin dies on Mustafar. No one saves him. The Emperor knew he was in trouble, rushed to save him. And but Anakin was going to die. So then you have the Emperor gone, Darth Vader gone, the clones under no one. The Jedi take the reins. They hand him off to Bail Organa, and everything is good in the world again. I honestly believe that's what would have happened. But of course, these are just what if storylines. And if they want to do infinities, I don't know. I don't know if I'd read those. Isn't that weird? Even though I just made them up and said those are good ideas, I wouldn't read them. Anyway. Let's see. What else? Oh, Adam, you've been asking this question for a while, and I'm sorry I didn't answer it Monday, brother. I really thought the missus was going to leave and I can answer all these. You said a while back that you want, I'm sorry, Adam says a while back you said that you want from Disney and the EU was for them to finish the main storyline. If you remember, I said, I think it'd be fine if they finished off the main storyline, connected it to Legacy. And since there wouldn't be any more Star Wars EU material, would you give Disney's canon a chance? Now, he says, more Star Wars is good for everybody, right? Yeah, more Star Wars is good for everybody. That's my argument. Why won't they make more expanded universe? Because anything's good for everybody. More Star Wars is great for everybody. But is it for everybody? That's the thing. There's some people who don't like the expanded universe. They were glad to see it gone. And there's some people who hate the new canon. Now, here's my deal. I don't care about the new canon. It doesn't interest me. If they continue the books, that is fine. The old canon, that's fine. I'll buy as many as they print out of the old canon. If they continue, with the new canon, I'm not interested. Let me give you a perfect example. Around this time is the only time of the year I go to McDonald's. McDonald's is offering the McRib, which is my favorite sandwich. And I think I have had 10 of them so far. I don't have many around Christmas because I'm always busy, but I do love me some McRib. So, do I hate McDonald's? No, I love McDonald's, but I only go when they have the McRib. But you're like, Matt, you got to try the Big Mac, man. No, I'm not interested. Dude, you got to try it. If you like McDonald's, not necessarily. I like the McRib. I don't really care about McDonald's. I like the expanded universe. I don't care about the new Star Wars. I don't. But I mean, I hate McDonald's or I hate Star. No, I only like them when they give me something I want, and I want the expanded universe. So that's kind of how I feel. And I used to answer that question a lot. I stopped, but then that was like over 1,000 subscribers ago. So thought I'd answer it again. But that's the thing. I have nothing against anyone who wants to read the new canon. Nothing. If you want to read the new canon, please go right ahead. It doesn't bother me. I'm not saying stop, don't read it. No, I mean, I love the expanded universe. I mean, that's what my whole channel is about, is the EU. So if they make more EU, yeah, hooray, we'll celebrate. If they make more new canon stuff, folks, I don't even know what comes out anymore. I am that disinterested in Star Wars. I think Bruce from Prince of the Universe was telling me about a new book that came out a while back. I was like, wait, what? I never even heard about it. Like, I'm not even keeping up with what books they come out now. I am so disinterested. I step further and further away from Star Wars. It's free on Stars right now. I have Stars, and it's free to watch. Comes on all the time. Now, and I remember saying a long time ago, so maybe if it's free to watch and I have the time, I'll watch it. I have no interest in seeing it. Really, I don't. What did I record tonight instead? I recorded something else. It's kind of stupid. I can't remember what it was. It's a dumb movie, but I want to see it again. It'll come to me sometime after this live Q&A. All right, let's see. All right, what is one author who hasn't written Star Wars? This is from Jedi Alkalite. One author who hasn't written Star Wars that you would like to write for Star Wars Legends. Brandon Sanderson from the Wheel of Time series. Robert Jordan died before he could finish it off. Brandon Sanderson is an excellent choice, I think. I'd love to see him. All right, he said, do you think Barbara Hamley, Vonda M. McIntyre, and Roger McBride Allen should get another shot at writing Star Wars? I'm assuming you mean Star Wars Legends. I don't care if they write the new stuff. Yes, I guess. In what order would I choose them? Maybe Roger McBride Allen, Barbara Hamley, then Vonda M. McIntyre. You know who else? Michael P. Q. McDowell. I'd like to see him write another one. There's someone else too, and I can't remember her name right now. Hold on. Let me go look. Christine Catherine Russ from the New Rebellion. She did an old Bantam novel a long time ago. And I'd like to see her write another one too. There's a lot of those one-hit wonders on Bantam that I'd love to see come back for the old expanded universe. Let's see. Oh, you had another question here. I just pressed read more and I saw you had more here. Do you think the Anzadi are an underrated species in Star Wars, or do they get a bad rap? The Anzadi. I don't think they're underrated. I think they were underused in the EU. I think they're a perfect villain. I think they're totally cool. In fact, in a few weeks I'll be doing a review including some Anzadi. But I love them. I think they're really awesome villain. I wish they were used. I wish they were just used more in the expanded universe. And as you know, Troy Denning said that he was going to make them they were going to be part of them. They were going to be the main villains of the next trilogy of novels that were coming out by Troy Denning. So that actually surprised me when he told me that. And I was like, wow, really? And it was going to have, the Anzadi. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So, oh, well. But yes, I don't think they get a bad rep. I just think they're underused. Okay. Brendan, he asks, is there anything we can do to help you get more views? Oh, Brendan, thank you. You know what, brother? To be honest, I don't care if I get big or not. I'm not here to get famous. I'm not here to make money. In fact, I don't have my AdSense turned on YouTube because it ticks me off when I watch other channels that play constant, commercials. If they play commercials on my channel, that's Google. I have no control of that. But I have my AdSense turned off. I make zero money. If I turn it on, I'd probably make maybe a couple $100 a year, not a month, a year. And to be honest, it's just not worth it. I'm not here for the money. I'm just doing something I love, man. I mean, Love the expanded universe. It's so much fun. I just I've, I've been behind in my videos. That's why Wednesday's video came out so late. I was burning the midnight oil trying to get it out. In fact, the reason I'm doing this Q&A tonight is I found out that we have plans on Friday and Saturday night, those Christmas parties and whatnot. And then I have I was going to do this on Saturday morning so my overseas friends could join in. However, there's something going on that morning that I need to see. And I may bring a video camera and put it on YouTube if it's what I think it'll be. But there's something I really want to do there. So I've got my Saturday like booked solid. So I can't do it Saturday. I can't do it Friday night. This is the only night I could do it. And but anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh no, I was doing recording some EU videos. Tomorrow's EU video, which is rendering now. I just edited it, and I was sitting down and I was just thinking as I was going through all my paperwork and everything. It's a lot of work, but man, I love talking about the expanded universe. It's just fun. I just do this for the fun. I love talking about board games. I know hardly anyone here watches them. And that's okay. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all because board games aren't your interest. But I friggin' love reviewing board games too, as much as the expand universe. And it's so much fun to do this. I'm doing it for the fun of it. I'm not doing it to be popular. I mean, to be honest, what I've got, like, I'm 20 subscribers away from 2,100 subscribers. Didn't we just celebrate 2,000 subscribers last month? And already I'm close to 100. I could probably get, 20 more by the end of the month, maybe. That's incredible to me that the channel keeps growing like that. I don't need to have 1 million subscribers. I don't need to have 1 billion views. Like I said, I'm just doing something I really love, and I am super fortunate. There are so many people out there who love the same things I do too. That probably wasn't the answer you wanted, but all right, let's see. Next one. Oh, Brendan again. Are you religious? That's not too personal a question. I was looking around. Oh, it's in the hallway. In my videos, you've actually seen crosses out there, and I think actually in one Q&A I wore my church shirt. So yes, I am. I go to Auburn Avenue Presbyterian Church. We're not Presbyterian anymore. We're a Reformed Evangelical. Church has 400 plus members. Really young people too. There's a ton of young people there. And it's just growing. In fact, we had to split our service up into 2 services. And fun fact, I go to the early, they made a sunrise service, which I love. My grandmother had a sunrise service. For those of you who don't know, sunrise service happens at 8 in the morning. And then the regular service at like 10:30 or something. And I hated the 10:30 one because by the time it was over, it's close to 12. And I'm hungry dude, man. I'm like, let's go. We need to go. I need to eat. And so when you wake up in the morning, sure, you have to get there at 8, but you have to get to your job at 8. So I don't care. We only get to sleep in on Saturdays now, but my wife loves it too. We're out early, and it seems like the whole congregation goes to Walmart shopping afterwards because we do that too, and we see everyone there afterwards. But yeah, all the people from my podcast actually go to my church. CJ from Saturday Morning Sound Flange and Bruce from Prince of the Universe. And so yeah. And actually, everyone in my board game group. Hold on, let me think about it before I say it. There's 3 people from my board game group that don't go to my church, which is fine. That's not a requirement to go to my. You have to go to my church to be in part of my board game group. No, you don't. But yeah. So I am. So there you go. Oh, Isaac Grimes, good one. 2 questions for the Q&A. Would you like to see the release of Jedi Storm, an unpublished first book in the New Jedi Order Nightfall trilogy? Yes, I would, and I might in 2017. I do know that he did finish it. I don't know if it's available, but I know I'm trying to find that out. And I think he may have done a rough draft for the 2nd book and of course had notes for the 3rd. I would love to see if he would finish that trilogy and like publish it online for free. I love anything about the New Jedi Order. Like Elaine Cunningham, I hunted her down to see if she could give us Blood Oath. And she told me it was on just like oh, what was the other? Margaret. Uh, can't think of her name. But Margaret, whatever. She wrote a book, something of Doom, Legacy of Doom. It was the sequel to Heart of the Jedi. Margaret Geis, and she said that just like Elaine Cunningham said, it was on their old computer. That's when you used computers. You used A drives and stuff, zip drives, which I did too. And she said that's just that computer was thrown away. That story was thrown away. No one thought it'd be that important, and people would want to see an unpublished novel. So unfortunately, that one's gone, which is really sad because that was basically completed. She was having to do some, work on some editor's notes. It had cover art, even got mentioned in the New Jedi Order, which Nightfall didn't. The Nightfall adventure didn't, but the Blood Oath adventure was mentioned in another book because they thought it'd be out by then. So unfortunately, I don't get to see Blood Oath either. Unless someone out there knew Elaine Cunningham and had an extra copy, then you and I become best friends. Uh, oh, what else? And oh, you know what? I think I skipped a question earlier. I'm just making sure. Hold on. I hate these long pauses in a live Q&A. I was rewatching a live Q&A and I was like, dadgummit, why do I have these long pauses? But I'm reading things here. All right, so I don't know. I may have skipped it. Someone asked me, do I recommend any Star Trek books? I used to read Star Trek books. My dad's secretary still is a big Star Trek fan. And back after I'd not lost interest, but I'd moved on from Star Wars because there was no Star Wars EU. And she introduced me to Star Trek, and I started watching all the original episodes with her, Next Generation and stuff. And we were became close friends. And she started giving me books to read, and I was I was a little kid and everything. I was like, yeah. And I'd read these books. Well, the thing was, I found in one of the old novels, all I read was the old novels from the 70s and 80s. And I can't remember the names now either, but because they were all hers. But I remember I was reading one and it was contradictory to a episode. And I went, hey, what happened here? She went, oh, well, that book was written before the episode came out, or they changed things since then. She said, they're not in continuity with the TV show. Well, then why read them? And then I stopped. So I haven't read that many Star Trek books to give you a recommendation. Isaac Grimes also said, is iJedi skippable? Woo! I read that and I said, well, no, it's not. But then I realized it kind of is. I mean, now, here's the deal. It is skippable in the fact that it doesn't impact the story going forward. And it's about Corran Horn becoming a Jedi, right? Which you already know happens next time you see him in, I think, New Jedi Order. So, to be honest, yeah, I guess it is skippable in that sense. But before you skip it, though, brother, let me tell you, in 50% of people's top 10 EU books, iJedi is not only in it, but it's number 1. So before you skip it, you may want to give it a try, because a lot of fans love iJedi. So, and I'm not, I say read all the Bantam novels. I'm a Bantam novel fan, but that's just me. But anyway, so yes, in the overall scope of things, but no, because a lot of people love that book. Guy writes a question. Hi, Matt. Thoughts on Babylon 5? I really started to watch it recently. Anyway, keep up the good work. Regards, Guy. Thank you, Guy. Guy, Babylon 5. I did a Prince of the Universe podcast on this last year or something. I think it's on YouTube even. I think it's on my YouTube channel way, way back. But I did review Babylon 5. Let me give you the let me just give you the rundown, I guess. Babylon 5, I loved it. It's got some bad CGI because it's dated, because it was mid-90s. But if you can get over that, it's really good. Everyone was screaming about Babylon 5 back in the day before Battlestar Galactica. But before Battlestar Galactica, every nerd loved Babylon 5, including me. The story about the senators is my favorite, and the overall story that they know, what the future is. And every time they try to change the future, take one step back, it's 2 steps forward. I love it. They actually offered him a season 6 and 7. But he said, no, 5 seasons. That's all I need to tell the story. Then they coaxed him back in to do some TV movies. He did TV movies to wrap up some loose ends. And then he did a spinoff series because they still wanted more called Crusade. Crusade is just a shadow of what Babylon 5 is. Should you watch it? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, if you at the end of Babylon 5, if you really love Babylon 5, go watch Crusade. It's okay. It's not as good. It's in the Babylon 5 world, but not as good. That's the thing with spinoffs. They hardly ever do better than the original. Let's see. All right. Who is this? Black Knight says, between the books, comics, and both TV shows, Ventress seems to have jumped around a bit regarding the characterization. Perhaps I'm in the minority thinking, but what are your thoughts on her and how she is portrayed? Oh, you asked the Star Trek book question. There, I already answered part B. Let me answer part A for you. You are correct. Ventress is portrayed differently, and that's a good fact. I should bring that up in the video then. Next video, I'll bring it up. But Ventress is different. Tartakovsky's series, she's scary, she's menacing, she's intimidating. Same thing in the comic books, in the books. But then when you get to Filoni's Clone Wars, she is not as menacing. She is a failure. She is weak. She is. She's stupid. She gets duped and tricked into everything. She's not as cunning. And it's funny because Filoni thinks he did her justice and made her really awesome, but I think he made her weaker. Now, that may just be me, but I think she was weaker in Filoni's Clone Wars. Like I said, same thing with Grievous. He made General Grievous an awesome character, who Tartakovsky made me just absolute fear, and Chuck Dixon in his General Grievous comic books made me appreciate. But then when you watch Filoni's Clone Wars, this guy was a screw-up, right? He never got anything right. And so it's laughable if you watch it in chronological order. If you watch that Clone Wars TV show and watch episode 3, you're like, how are you going to, how are you going to make, I can't think of the word now. How are you going to screw this all up, General Grievous? Anyway, Brendan asked, do you find the word thought bomb funny? Haha. Yeah, it is kind of funny when you think about it. You know what? When Jedi versus Sith came out, though, no one really thought a thought bomb was that funny. I don't remember anything being said on the forums, but I thought it was kind of cool, a thought bomb. It does sound silly now. I do agree with you. But back then we didn't care until Drew Carpenter wrote Darth Bane. And then from Brandon again, Mar said she never believed in a clone emperor was real. What do you think? Brendan, I couldn't find where Mara Jade said that. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying I couldn't find it. Maybe it was in one of the later books. Maybe she mentioned it. Anyway, the cloned emperor was real, was really the emperor. But I think Mara didn't believe because she didn't feel the emperor's will being forced upon her like he was when he was alive. But I would argue and say the emperor didn't do a lot of stuff when he was in a clone body because he was burning through his dark side essence was burning through those Sparty clones. And so he had to find a host that he could hold his spirit without burning out, remember? So his number one focus, all his dark side energy, instead of being spread out like he used to be, is now contained in this bottle. It's a sieve. It's got sand, drifting through his fingertips, and he's got to hurry. He can only focus on one thing, himself. And that's probably why Mara's like, I didn't feel anything when he came back to life, and I felt when the emperor died. So I don't think that was the real emperor. So I understand that if she said it. But yeah, that was the real emperor. Bardane says, it would be funny to see your old commercial advertising. Do you have a copy of them? Bardane, you're in for a treat. I do. I found 2 of them. One I recorded a long time ago that didn't even air here. And then another one that just it's playing right now in my area. I have not seen it yet. The guy sent me a cell phone video of it, and it's really grainy. I may play them on the channel, but I want to get a better copy. But I emailed him. I said, hey, dude, can I get a better copy of this? Can you just email it to me? He's like, sure. I'll email it to you. And it said on the text, it said, I'll email it to you wet transfer. I think he meant Wednesday, but Wednesday's come and gone. And so I text him again and say, hey, man, any chance of getting that video? But I don't know if, I guess our business is done and he's moved on. But if I get a better, I'm waiting for a clearer cut of that video before I play it. It's nothing big, but there's two commercials I do not have, and I'll tell you the stories right now. I did some commercials for Ready Deck, which was they build decks and patios for businesses and residential areas. And the first time we did the commercial, it was me and my wife and another couple, and we went out to Landry Vineyards, which is the only vineyard in Northeast Louisiana. And it's a beautiful place, the vineyard is, and there's this beautiful deck that overlooks the vineyard. And so they wanted us to sit at a table, and Mr. Landry, who I'm friends with, came out with 2 bottles of wine, one red, one white, whatever we wanted for the shot. And we're going to pour it on our glasses, clink our glasses, sip wine out on the patio, the deck, and maybe lean over the rail, watching things and laughing and having a good time like, you know, snobs do. And so anyway, we did the first take. And so everyone's going to take us, you know, everyone clinks the glasses and we take, you know, we drink. Now, I just put it to my lips, put the wine to my lips, didn't drink it, and then acted pantomime that I did it and put it down. Everyone else was chugging that wine. They were going, and they put the glass down. And then after the director said cut, I told everyone at the table, hey guys, I don't think we're actually supposed to drink the wine. You know, just put it to your lips. And the director said, no, it's fine. They can drink it. And after 30-something takes, and 2 bottles later, we had to stop filming. Now, because of me, I don't drink alcohol. I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking alcohol. I just don't drink alcohol. I don't like alcohol, wine, beer. It just doesn't taste good to me. I also don't drink coffee. Oh, I know, isn't that weird? I love the smell of coffee. I hate the taste of coffee. What about a chocolate mocha or a frappe or latte or whatnot, Matt? Oh, Matt, this doesn't taste like coffee. Here, drink this. No, it tastes like coffee, and I can taste the coffee, and it tastes awful. What about coffee beans? No, chocolate-covered coffee beans. No, nothing with coffee. Love the smell. Can't stand the taste of coffee. And here's the ironic thing. I come from a family that there's 6 of us all together. 3 of my brothers are certified baristas. Means they're certified coffee makers. I mean, professional, I guess, licensed coffee makers. And it's so weird. In fact, 2 of my brothers, one, let me talk about my brothers real quick. One teaches school here at the local school, and he's been there forever. He's one of their top teachers, and he's still a coffee snob, but he's a barista. My other 2 brothers still work at baristas. One brother is in New York. He sings opera. He's an opera singer, the only professional opera singer I know. When he's not singing opera, he's working at a coffee shop, and the only reason he got the job is because he's a certified barista. Because they want certified baristas. It makes them look good. And then my other brother lives in Seattle, and all he does is work at a coffee shop. In fact, in Seattle, they're snobs about their coffee, man. And I don't know which one he works at. He doesn't work at a Starbucks. Starbucks is considered the McDonald's of coffee, even though I think that's where Starbucks came from, is Seattle. But anyway, that's not considered good coffee. There's so-and-so's coffee and this coffee and that coffee. And he's worked for several coffee places. I don't know which one he's working for now, but he's a certified barista, and that's the only way you can get it. In fact, he gets like insurance, like health insurance benefits for being a barista. What? That's so weird. Anyway, I don't like coffee. And the other, since we're talking about things I like and don't like, then I'll get back to the commercial story. The only other thing that I don't like are melons. I don't like watermelon, cantaloupe, or honeydew. Blech. I'll eat any vegetable. I don't think there's a single vegetable that I hate. I love okra, you know, broccoli. Yeah. I don't think there's a vegetable I hate. It's just those melons. Even watermelon, which is really weird. I was like, you don't like watermelon? Hey, I got a nephew who doesn't like chocolate. He's like 12, and he doesn't eat chocolate. That's so weird. But look who's talking. Anyway, so we did these 2 commercials. We did this commercial on Ready Deck. After filming it, we had to stop. And then he called me back the next day. He's like, hey, Matt, look, we need to just redo this. We're going to go to a residential area where they have their own patio. I want you and your wife to come, and bring 2 kids and we'll film this, you know. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And well, he said, no, you and 2 kids, and we'll film like it's a birthday party. You'll be grilling out on the deck, and there'll be a birthday cake and presents and balloons. I said, yeah, that's cool. Let's do it, man. And then he called me the day of. He said, hey, man, we don't have any kids in this. The kids fell through. Do you have any kids? No, I don't. He said, can you get kids? I went, well, I guess. And I called Bruce from Princeton Universe. He actually lives right around the corner from me. And I said, Bruce, dude, can I borrow your kids for this commercial? He's like, sure, man. When do you need them? I said, nah, now. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I borrowed his 2 youngest. One, his daughter, who had just got back from the dentist, was still loopy because she got gassed. And she's just like, yee. And then the other one snuck candy. They just caught him sneaking candy. And he was like on a sugar rush, like, eh. And so needless to say, that was one wild commercial because the kids were like, ooh, and ah. And we were smiling, having fun. We filmed the same scene over and over again. The kids come to the table at the end and blow out the candles. Well, the kids wanted to open the fake presents, and we told them, you can't open them right now. We're still, you know, filming scenes, but you can open them afterwards. But we both, me and the director, both told them, but there's nothing in there. They didn't believe us. So on the last take, the director goes, okay, kids, you can open the presents. They were like, yay! And then they opened it and went, there's nothing in here. Like, why were you telling the truth? It was really, really funny. It was really funny. And so I was like, dude, I told you there's nothing in there. But yeah. And then, but that commercial played for 2 years, I think. I think it just got taken off the air. But now the other one is for a jewelry company. And it's a short commercial. But I hear it's playing all the time because everyone, I went out to eat tonight and someone goes, hey, famous man, saw your commercial, Hollis & Company. I was like, thanks. You know, I still haven't seen it yet, besides my grainy YouTube video one. All right, let's see. In fact, hold on. I have a text from a buddy of mine. He said, are you in a commercial? That's what he just said. That's funny. I don't think he's watching this, is he? Anyway. All right, so live Q&A. Back in the 90s, this is Brendan. Back in the 90s, there was a canceled book or books telling how humanity came from our galaxy, crossed time and space, and ended up in the Star Wars galaxy. Which was called Alien Exodus. I do remember these, Brendan. Said, would you want to see these books revived or have humanity's introduction to the galaxy otherwise explained? Or would you want to remain a mystery or maybe hinted at? How do you believe humans came into the galaxy? Well, first off, I think when I first heard they were going to do a book like this, I was not interested. I was not interested with anything that far back. I think what we got to see with Dawn of the Jedi, or what we would have seen with Dawn of the Jedi, would have been great. You know, maybe they came across a dying architect. You know, that would kind of be cool. Or maybe they saw the last, you know, celestial or whatnot before they left the world. Maybe that's neat. But I think, does Star Wars need a Genesis? Well, that's debatable. Some people think it does. I would say no. I would say no. I'm happy. I would be happy if they explored Dawn of the Jedi a little bit more. And do they need to go back farther than that? No. I would say no, personally. I don't care how they came into the world. You know, I think Star Wars is a story that doesn't need to. I think that's one thing that doesn't need to be explained. Angels and architects and whatnot. That's just me, though. Last question by Ray Blitz. Have you seen the Versus series videos and lightsaber analysis videos by Genosari? You know, I got this question all the time back in the day, and I've answered it a billion times. Yes, I think they're fine. And I won't answer it any more than that. But I do have new subscribers now, so yeah. So I've seen them. Yeah, they're fine. I do keep up with other people's videos here and there. You know, if they make EU videos, usually you don't see that many now. So I'm not searching YouTube or the internet for as many reviews as I used to. How much time do I have? 20 minutes? Woo! All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna read over some of these and see Someone said the golden years ended in 2014. I don't know why. Is it a joke that everyone's asking me about the helicopter lightsabers? Because I've talked about that in the last Q&A. I got another question about it, and I talked about it on Prince of the Universe. It was dumb. What else do you want me to say? What if both Jyn and Kenobi died, and someone that didn't see eye to eye with the council, like the Dark Woman, would have ended up seeing the potential in Anakin and trained him in the secret? Okay, that's interesting, but still, I think he turns to the dark side just because it's destiny. Do you feel Chewie should have stayed alive, or that Jason should have lived redeemed? Those are good thoughts. I never thought what ifs on New Jedi Order. Nick, let me wait till I get the New Jedi Order, aka give me 2 years. Do you think Jason Solo would have died? Okay. That was kind of rare. You said someone said they saw a Books a Million, a bunch of books with no Legends banners on them, old EU books. Must be cleaning house. How did the rebels capture the Death Star plans in EU? Rogue One sounds dumb. Well, Bothans. Many Bothans died to get them those plans. Actually, the book Death Star, I think, talks a little bit about it. Dark Forces does. But they got the plans. Many Bothans died. Is all we know. Everyone was delivering plans. There was a group effort when it came to that. I'll just say that. And how they did in Rogue One, who knows? They'll rip off some story. What was the last time you ever read Star Trek Expanded Universe novel? Oh, Dark Novia. That was in the early 80s. No, I'm sorry, early 80s. Late 80s or very early 90s. I had stopped reading Star Trek by the time Star Wars Timothy Zahn's book has come out. In fact, I've said this before, my dad's secretary bought me that Star Wars book. She was going to buy me a Star Trek book, but she couldn't find anything, and she found the Star Wars book instead and gave it to me. So by accident, she turned me back into a Star Wars fan because I read that book and was like, wow, this is great. Do I watch any Star Wars YouTubers such as Stupendous Way, Fact Free, or any other one? Oh, hello from Peru. No, I don't. I never actually heard of them. I can check them out. Still reading. Hold on. Let's see. How'd you know about the Darth Maul game that was going to be released? A lot of people tell me that. Plus, wasn't that in the Fall of LucasArts article a long time ago? They talked about all these games that were going to come out, but didn't for some reason. Boy, I was really behind in these comments. I'm sorry. So sorry. Hold on. Let's see. Have you considered giving the Star Trek Expanded Universe another shot, considering new novels are more in continuity with than the older ones were? Oh, Dark Novia, I did not know them. I did not know that. They had more in line them in continuity. Is there an actual effort to do that, or is that just something they're just trying better? They're still on different planes, but they're trying better. Would I start again? I said we were going to talk about Star Trek on Prince of the Universe, and it's not going to happen this month. I hate it. It's probably going to happen next month, just because we have so many other topics to discuss. But let me wait, and I'll talk about all this when I get to Star Trek. I do like Star Trek, but I'm not. Wow, I've seen every Star Trek TV show, every movie. I'll watch the new one, the Star Trek. What's it called? Coming on CBS All Access. I'll watch that one too. because you know Star Trek's interesting to me. Am I a huge fan though? I don't know if I'll ever go into the books though. I've got tons of books to read too, so maybe not Dark Novia. But it's nice to hear they're doing that. Who would win, Darth Plagueis or Jaina Solo? Plagueis the Wise would win. Let's see. After I read the Thrawn trilogy, would I be missing anything if you went to New Jedi Order? Yeah, I think so. You actually, people have started by reading Young Jedi Knights and read New Jedi Order and didn't feel like they missed a thing, which is true. New Jedi Order was built to be a self-contained story. You don't have to read any of the old stuff, not even Timothy Zahn, especially not Timothy Zahn. In fact, there's more stuff that impacts the story rather than Timothy Zahn's trilogy. So I would have said back in the day, absolutely not. Now I think you're going to be missing. I mean, you're not going to be lost when you read New Jedi Order, but you'll be missing a lot of continuity because they tie in almost every bantam loose end, and it was impressive. But like I said, there's people who just skipped and went straight to New Jedi Order without reading the Bantam novels and loved it. So there's different levels. Like I said, when I first read it, I didn't play some of the video games, and even I missed some stuff that New Jedi Order had in there until years later when I read something and went, wait a minute, wasn't that the guy in New Jedi Order? He's in X-Wing Rogue Squadron? Or no, it was not X-Wing Rogue Squadron, it was X-Wing the game or something. I was like, that's incredible. Also, if you played KOTOR 1 and 2, which one did you enjoy most? None of the above. I came too late to Knights of the Old Republic. It wasn't that cool when I played it. It was what, last year, folks? 2 years ago? A buddy of mine gave them to me, and I did not like them. Of course, I'm kind of out of video games now. So most video games, no video game perks my interest. The only one was Arkham Knight because I love the Batman Arkham games, but it's on the Xbox One. I don't want an Xbox One, unless someone gives me one for free. I'm never going to buy one because I'm never going to play anything but Arkham Knight on it. And when I'm done, if they make another Arkham game, I'll play it. But I don't even know. I don't even have that much of a desire to play that game. So I think I'm totally off video games. I'm sorry. Did you ever notice Darth Raven's costume is also ripped off for Kylo Ren? Well, yeah, everyone was saying that back in the day. I agree with that. What series do you favor more, New Jedi Order or Legacy of the Force? New Jedi Order. Why didn't the Emperor try cloning Vader as well, except without the influence of Anakin Skywalker? You know what? The Emperor might have, but something may have happened to those clones. It would be like him to make clones of Darth Vader, but he didn't. Maybe he was just looking out for number one. If Vader betrayed him, why would you try again? Hold on. I'm almost caught up here. Whoa. It totally just skipped on me there. Hold on. What is it? What book comes after Truce of Bakura? After Truce of Bakura, if you want to read Heart of the Jedi, that would come next, but hold on. Let's see. Book-wise, read Shadows of Minor. Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Minor. Book-wise. Comic book-wise, give me a 2 years. I'll get around to that. But on my bookshelf, that's what I have next. Besides Heart of the Jedi, which I think is fun. Top 3 characters in the Buffy universe. I love Xander. Angel, Angelus, Spike. Is that the order I like them in? Yes. That'd be my order. Good question. Bad guys would be different, though. Hold on, let me think of bad guys. Main villains. I love Mayor Wilkins. Obviously, right? No, I'm kidding. I really thought he was a great character. He was lovable. He was funny, but he was super evil. And who else did I like? Main villains. Dark Willow was good, and Angelus was good. Let's see. How would you get someone to start the EU? Um, how would I? Well, they have to have their own interest in Star Wars. But yeah, Timothy Zahn's trilogy would be a good start. Who would win, Jaina Solar or Bastila? Ooh, ooh. Bastila, I think would win. I think Jaina would mess up, and Bastila would get the win. It'd be a close one though. Anthony, you got so lucky because the missus stayed 60 minutes on the last one. No, I'm not getting the PlayStation VR for the Batman Arkham games. I heard about it. My CJ told me about it, but nah, I'm kind of out of video games now. I mean, I would kind of get that Nintendo Mini console because it has the 60 games preloaded. I have that for I have an Intellivision like that. I played the heck out of that last Christmas, but I don't play it anymore. So maybe I shouldn't get the Nintendo one. I'd play that one a little bit too, but I'd eventually get tired of it. Board games, folks. If you haven't played board games, you don't play board games. What's fun about it is you're bringing a bunch of people over together and you're socializing while playing a great game. And there's a game about anything these days. Don't believe me? Watch my channel, watch other people's channels. There are some great games. Spartacus, which I just reviewed. I just got that game. The more I play it, the more I love it. It's just a stinking fun game. Win or lose, I have a good time. Even though most times I win. But I'd love it even if I didn't win. What's the game I love? I love Firefly. I hardly ever win at Firefly, but I love Firefly. Does your passion for stars carry over into interest in the real world space industry like NASA, SpaceX, or Blue Origin? No, sadly it doesn't. If you were asked to be in the new Star Wars movie, would you do it even if it was new canon? Good question. Jonathan, I actually entered that contest where you got to guest star in episode 7, by giving a donation. And I was serious. What I was going to do, if they called me and said, hey, will you get you're going to get a small role in episode 7. I said, hey, can I trade that for an EU book? I was going to say that. I was going to say, can we give it away? And I just get Escape from Dagu. Seriously, I was going to ask that question if I won. So no, probably not. I would trade it though. I'd use it as a trading token. Have you been watching The Walking Dead? Oh, Donnie, you know what? Someone asked me that question. I skipped it. I don't know when I skipped it. Someone said, what's better, Walking Dead TV show or the comic book series? It is the comic book series, hands down. The comic book series is so much better. A few years ago, I would have said it was hard to say because they were both good, but the comic book series is still good, whereas the TV show, man, last season ticked me off. I mean, they kept teasing Negan, and Negan never showed up until like 2 minutes of the hour and a half boring finale. The whole season was a waste of my time, and I said that after it was over. And now my wife feels the same way. She's kind of getting bored of this season. They're just trying to juice as many viewers as they can. They don't care about the story that much. I don't believe they do. Whereas the comic book, even though Kirkman kind of runs both, they're really hyping up for viewers. They don't care about the viewers. They just care about getting that revenue to sell commercial space. But the comic books are really good. The Whispers, I won't ruin anything, but I've gotten about there. I'm a few issues behind, but so far so good on Walking Dead comic book series. And I've always been a Walking Dead comic book series fan. The only reason I started watching The Walking Dead on TV was because I was a fan of the comic books. And so I said, oh, they made a TV show about it? Sure, I'll watch it. All right, let's see what else. I missed like a billion. Only 10 more questions came in since then. What's my time? 5 minutes. How far through the Clone Wars are you on Matt's Expanded Universe? I'm closing in, brother. I won't get it done this year. That's what I'll say. It ain't gonna get finished this year. I've got 3 pages back and forth of material. It's not gonna happen this year. I thought it was. I really thought I was gonna get done this year. Especially with that, like, what to do, a double post? you know, for my 2000, I was doing double post. Went, yeah, then I'll get done. No, it's forever. But it'll happen soon enough. Early next year, I'll be done. Abeloth versus Thanos. Who is stronger? Thanos from Marvel? Abeloth all the way. What is Shakti's EU death? Is it in a deleted scene of episode 3 or The Force Unleashed? It's not in the deleted scene. That's not canon. So I'll talk about that in January. Force Unleashed. Have you heard of Hinderfall, the Viking game? Procure chess. No, John. I would check it out because I do love me some chess. I don't know what it's called. Hinderfallati. Probably butchered that, didn't I? What change pissed me off the most from Walking Dead? Here's the thing. It's not really that there's a change. It's that nothing happened last season. Negan's coming. Negan's coming. Oh no, it's Negan. And that pissed me off because it was boring. I could sleep through that whole entire last season. And now this season, they do the whole one-off, like the terror story. Did we really need to know that? Who cares? I told my wife, it's like I haven't seen her in 2 years. Why would I care about this character? And so that's what pisses me off more about the TV show. But Negan being there for the last 2 minutes of an hour-and-a-half season finale, and then them not revealing who got killed, lame. Yeah, don't like it. I could stop watching it. If the missus wanted to stop, I would stop as well. She still watches it, so I'll watch it with her. Dark Novi, I will watch Game of Thrones when it's finished, but I am more interested in reading the books. But George R.R. Martin will die before they're finished. So eventually I'll read them, but I don't want to read something that's not finished yet. I learned my lesson from Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. He died, and I started reading it, and then Brandon Sanderson finished off later, but it took me forever to get that series done. So now it has to be completed before I will read it. Are the Tales of the Jedi comic books worth reading? Whoa, you need to go back and look at my playlist. Yes, there's some of my favorite comic books ever. Have you heard dumb rumors of Disney giving Obi-Wan a granddaughter? No. Have you heard of RMG Productions? Yes. How do you feel about completely pointless film by the name of Rogue One? Donnie, isn't that a car? I think we established that in the last Q&A. It was a car, right? Are Mara Jade comics good, read, or is it skippable? If you like Mara Jade, they're good. If you don't like them, you can skip them. If you don't like Mara Jade, everyone loves Mara Jade, though, so I'm sure you'll read them. I mean, they're fine. They're fine. Can't wait to review them. Matt, have you read the book, The Ultimate Star Wars in Philosophy? You must unlearn what you have learned. No, I've heard about it. Books on my list to read. I'm reading I just finished Princess of Mars today. And I started on Gods of Mars. John Carter Mars is top of the list right now. There's another book coming in Monday that will preempt all my John Carter and go to the top of my list. I'll talk about Monday. And then, let me see. Bruce got me red shirts from the last Q&A. I'm pick it up. So that's on the list. This is last on the list. Sorry, Bruce. It's just bottom of the list. And then for Christmas, I'm going to get, hopefully, some Spartacus books that I've been wanting to read. So, and there's only 2 of those, so I'll read those. All right. Anyway, 9 o'clock, straight up. Woohoo! You know, I think I started late, though, so I'll give it 1 more minute. Things coming up. We're going to do a weekly rundown. That's going to be fun. Have a little bit of news there. I have filmed enough board game reviews and Matt's EU now. I just need to edit it and get together. It's not going to happen this week or this weekend. In fact, I didn't waste. I utilized my time to do this Q&A for you guys. And so, but I'll have to get to editing those next week. And then, of course, when Christmas and New Year's come around, it's going to be really super busy. So that's why I recorded some extra ahead of time. I sure hope the Spartacus books are amazing. As a fan of the EU, do you have any good starting points to get invested in the EU? I've always said it this way. I think Timothy Zahn's Thrawn books are good, but depends where you want to start. If you want to start in Knights of the Old Republic, I'd go to the tail end of that and go with Darth Bane. I wouldn't do Dawn of the Jedi, even though that's the beginning of the chronology. I wouldn't go there. And for prequel era, dang, honestly, Jedi Apprentice by Jude Watson. I think it's a great series. Anyway, let's see. Anything else here? Is Republic Commander Order 66 on your worst list? I guess you'll find out when I review it. If you could inflict one disease on Dave Filoni, what would it be? Inflict one disease. I don't know. I'll ask Yubnub. I don't wish the man any harm. I know I pick on Filoni a lot, but I really don't care. I mean, someone said, Matt, what if you had to meet Dave Filoni? What would you do? I'd take a picture with him. I would, and probably hold up some bologna too, just as a joke. I don't hate the man, though. What would happen if Darth Tiberius took over Anakin? Then we'd all be doomed. How about inflicting a disease on Kathleen Kennedy? I don't care about Kathleen Kennedy either. I mean, you know, I think she's ignorant to the fact of what EU fans want. But if I met her, I'd love to have 5 minutes and talk. All right, folks, that is all the time I have for now. Hey, thanks again so much. It has been a blasty blast, and I will see you next time.